Hey, I'm Jen Pacici. I'm here today to talk to you about staying true to yourself. I wrote a blog post about this, and I also just want to talk to you about it because it's fun to talk through this stuff, or at least it is for me. So what does it mean to stay true to yourself? I believe that we are all given a blueprint when we're born. Like, we all know, like, I'm thinking of people who are like great at a certain sport. I'm not a sports person, so I can't pull up any names, but someone who is like clearly meant to be an artist, someone who just has an amazing skill at dancing, somebody who is here to bring peace to the world. Like, you see it in these really big personalities, like where it's like clear that they had a destiny and they were able to follow that, and they did it. They were true to themselves. So you may not have an inner purpose that is destined to bring you, fame or touch the lives of thousands of people, or maybe you do, but you still do have this blueprint of, like, in this lifetime, what makes up your personality, your interests, what makes you feel alive, what makes you feel connected. We all have that, right? Like, people are all different. We all have these different things, and some people are just more in touch with it and able to follow through with that. So when I say be true to yourself, I mean, do you. How do you know what you is? We'll get to that in a second. But what I mean by staying true to yourself is just, if you hear it inside you, if you feel that pull, you do it, or you move towards doing it if it's too scary to do right in this moment. But it's like getting in touch with that core you and doing it, even if it's scary, even if it makes your life messy, even if other people think like that you're crazy, you do it anyway. So that's what I mean by being in touch with your true self. Why is this so important? Because life is better if you're true to yourself. I am positive. If you're here, if you read the blog post, if you follow me anywhere, if you're watching this video, that you must have in your life, either now or in the past or all of those times, you have felt, I'm going to say, out of alignment with your life. Like, you either feel like your life was designed by someone else. Like, for instance, if your parents told you you should have this kind of job, do this sort of thing, or your school, like the school system that you went to, maybe it's been like shaping you in what it thinks is the best way, but you feel out of alignment with that. Like, you have this corporate job, or you have this big job, or you have this like right kind of relationship, whatever it is, you just know it's not right. You're not happy like you should be. It just doesn't feel right. And it's because it's like you've been put into a box. You've been put into a box, and when you're not meant to be put into a box, you're meant to roam wild and free, to be connected to the universe, to nature, just to something more. You're connected to more than just a paycheck or a house or a car or a pair of shoes. Like, you're so much more. So how do you stay true to yourself no matter what? Because if it was easy, we would all be doing it, right? So the first thing to do is to become familiar with and acknowledge the stories that you've been telling yourself. These stories, they are usually well-meaning. They come from your childhood, your family, your church, your school, Instagram, advertisements, your friends. They're just these cultural stories, and it will be different depending on where you live. But in general, I would say in the modern world, especially like the Western world, the story is you should do well in school. You should go to a good college. You should get a good job. You should follow your heart, but only to a certain extent. Romance, having that soul partner is incredibly important. Family is the most important thing. Money is really important. Having a fit body and eating whole foods is very important. Like, having white teeth is very important. It's just this whole, and of course there's that whole just insidious narrative that has been decades, just like, your skin should be lighter, your hair should be shiny and smooth. Just there's so much tied in with cultural stories, and my bag is not, I don't get deeply into all of that stuff, but all of that is a cultural story. Like you're surrounded by it all the time. So acknowledging that those are just stories, that they are not real, that they have nothing to do with your true self. So the example that I give in my blog is that, like, let's say you want to take this class, like on, like weaving with natural fibers. And the reason that probably popped into my head is because I live close to this community college that has this excellent, like crafts 2-year program. It's like a very well-known program. And so let's say you want to take this weaving class and you feel excited about it. You feel that, like, knowing that this would be good for you. But instantly your mind comes in and is like, that's a waste of time. What are you going to do with that anyway? It's not like you're ever going to make any money doing that. Doing things just for fun when you could be exercising is a waste of time. You shouldn't spend money on a class like that. You should be saving it. Like, there are probably thousands of stories that your mind could come in with on why this is dumb. And it could just be covering up fear that you won't be good at it. It could be just a fear that it'll take your life in a direction you don't want to. You could be nervous about meeting new people, all of that stuff. So acknowledge that story. When you feel excited about doing something, when something feels like a yes, and your mind starts to come in and say no and tell you why, you must be able to see that your mind is doing that. You will never be able to get in touch with and follow your intuition, your compass, your true self, if you always believe what your mind says. Your mind is wrong. Your mind does not know. So your mind isn't going to magically stop telling you this stuff. What you can do, though, is to see it, to acknowledge it and say, like, okay, I see that my mind thinks this is scary. Cool. You don't have to buy into it. So then the second thing, once you are acknowledging these stories, is to be brave, because can be hard. It's to look within. It's to stop taking advice from books unless you feel called, like, religiously, spiritually called to read a book and just know it's right. To stop taking advice from everyone else. If you're asking 5 other people what they think you should do, that is not listening to your true self. That is like trying to get them to confirm. It could be either way. You might want them to confirm that it's okay what your true self wants to do. You might be getting them to try to confirm that it's dumb to do the thing your true self wants. Either way, they don't know. They don't know your true self. Only you know. I can't tell you. I'm here to help you facilitate a relationship with your true self, with your inner voice, with your intuition, but I don't know what is right for you. Anyone who tells you they know what's right for you is lying to you. I don't know, but I do know that you know. I do know that you know. You know what I'm saying? All right, so be brave. Be brave and look within. Write to your intuition. I have instructions on my website. If you feel called to it, do an inner voice facilitation session with me so I can help you talk to your inner voice. Check in with your body compass. I also have a post about that. There are so many ways your true self is trying to talk to you. You just need to be willing to listen. Once you start getting information, just take small steps. I say this, I think, every time. You don't have to blow up your life. You don't have to end your marriage, quit your job, go live in a van. You don't have to do any of that stuff right now. You don't have to. I think that is part of the reason we have such a hard time. We think, well, if we make this one change, everything will change and it'll be too scary and no one will love me anymore and I'll be homeless. Like, you don't have to blow it all up today. Just take little steps. Just listen and see what the next step is. Maybe it's taking that class on weaving. Maybe it's moving back to your hometown. Maybe it's traveling around the world for a year. Okay, that's not really a small step. I mean, if you're 22, you probably can easily do that. If you're my age and have like a mortgage and a kid and a family, it's harder. But just do the thing. If you feel like you can take a big step, do it. But I want to help. What I'm trying to do here is help reassure your mind, because the mind gets so scared and it tries to shut everything down. But if you show your mind, like, we're going to take this a little bit at a time, that can be really helpful. And then lastly, just trust that all is well. Just try to find that. Meditation can help with this. Writing to your intuition can help with this. Just try to find that place inside of you that knows it's all well. Hello, Coconut. Coconut knows it's all well. The only time she gets upset is like when the neighbor cat, Blackie, that's his actual name. The other cat that my neighbors own is named Fluffy. When Blackie comes nearby, Coconut, she gets ruffled. She gets the big tail. It's an intruder in her territory. But then once Blackie is gone, she doesn't hold on to it. She's not like, he's trying to take over the house and eat my cat food. Do you, Coconut? No. No, you don't. What I'm saying is she knows all is well. In the moment, there might be something that you have to deal with. Like, you might have to turn your car out of the way of that other car. Or you might have to put your mask on because someone's coming too close to you. But like, once that moment is gone, you just know all is well. Just go back to that knowing. I want to show you Coconut. There she is. Okay, good. Know that your true self isn't trying to hurt you, isn't trying to make your life hard or miserable. It's trying to guide you. Like, if you are true to yourself, your life just gets bigger and brighter and more colorful and more fun. So just know everything is always fine. Everything is always fine. Just take it one step at a time. You can do this. Coconut thinks you can too. You want to wave? Goodbye. Have a lovely day. Coconut and I are going to snuggle now.